I just came up with a great idea for increasing the perceptual value of things. Perceptual value is something that the consumer or the person using something or viewing something adds to it that goes beyond its sort of inherent value. Like gold has a perceptual value because it's so rare, but since everybody agrees on that perceptual value, it becomes like it actually becomes a real value in a way. And that's something you can do with anything. You can find a way to present it that gives it added value, value that wasn't there prior to you thinking the way you thought about it. And so my idea was, it's called poetic branding, where you use the power of poetry or poetic imagery to create an image of your mind about a product or a service that you already use or that you want to expose to other people to potentially use, and you just allow that poetic imagery that talks to your right side of the right side of the mind, to the right half of the brain, to invoke a new way of looking at and interacting with the product or service. And by doing that, the people who use the product or service actually enjoy it more. It's like the same thing when you're drinking, when a novice wine drinker is drinking an expensive wine, they're going to enjoy that wine more than when they would enjoy a $2 bottle of wine. Because more expensive means they're going to value it more, means they're going to enjoy the experience more. You know, they have all these thoughts about, this is a really expensive glass of wine, or this is a $200 bottle of wine. They'll feel like they're treating themselves. They'll feel like it's a special experience, like it's a rare occasion, like there's something more about that, even though 90-95% of people probably can't taste the difference between a really expensive wine and a really cheap wine. And the same thing can happen when you look at things differently by allowing yourself by allowing yourself or having somebody else romanticize something for you, using the power of language and imagery to put something in a greater light. And so my idea is to write poems about specific people who are offering something positive to the world, and to or specific brands that are creating products that are making the world a better place, and to share that with the people who are creating it, and encourage them to share it with other people who are working on the same project with them, or with their mailing list to consumers or something else along those lines, and to allow for the power of poetry to spread a new vision of what that is. I kind of look at it as like a mission statement for the right half of the brain, in that the left brain, when you give it a mission statement, it provides a lot of clarity, it provides direction, provides almost a goal, a setting, a direction to head into. And but on the right side of the brain, none of that really matters, because it doesn't inspire. If it doesn't inspire anything, and what poetry can do, what a jingle can do, what things that are contagious and short and brief, yet they capture something on an abstract level, what they can do is they can tap into a power that the logical, everyday, that makes sense to me, doesn't really tap into. When you can tap to something that's like that gets you thinking, that gets you looking at something differently, then you're really moving energy. You're moving the way that the person sees it. You're moving the way that they interact with something, and you're shifting the relationship between the product or service and the people who use it, or the people who create it, maintain it, and run it. And by doing so, it's like a totally free thing. It doesn't cost any money to look at something differently. All you have to do is be willing to see it differently. And what I could offer as a poet is someone who romanticizes a lot of things regularly, is I can romanticize different things that are widely used, and different services and people who are making a difference in this world, and that will give them something it's like a touchstone to look back at how to see themselves in a different light, and to share it with other people who can see them in that light. But then, I think about actually implementing this idea and actually, launching a website and offering service and putting all the things together to make it happen. And it's it's a tall order. It's not something that can just be hastily thrown together, or can it? And so it's like I talk myself out of it before it even has a chance to live. And why does it have to be the case that an idea must, that all the ideas I come up with are almost destined to die because I don't have the implementation power that carries through on ideas. And so that's something I want to change myself, is to look for a new dynamic through which I can see that. And so that's what that's where I'm going with that, is